You just bought a Nighster S and your budget's 500 bucks. What do you do to it? Let me tell you. We are live. How's my hair? Okay, 500 bucks. What mods to do to your Nighster S? Nighster S, because I've got one. I would bunking 1.5 inch risers, $25 US. I don't know what the conversion is to Australian dollars. I'll get cleverer maybe in the editing and put that in there. And then I would do the MX pegs, the grabber pegs, 155 US dollars. They make a huge difference. The standard pegs are just too narrow. They don't feel like there's enough underfoot for me anyway. And they are MX style grabber pegs. They are grabber pegs. They're very grippy, be warned. Easy install. There's a video of me installing them, or how to install them. The easiest install on a motorcycle for pegs I've ever done. Not that it's hard, but it's easy on the Nightsters. And then I would probably go with the slip-on. Now, if I keep it under 500 bucks, slip-ons range from S&S to Shark Road to whatever, and that can be between 250 and 300 US dollars. So that'll be 500 bucks well spent for me. If I only had $500, so I just bought myself a Nighster S and I wanted to spend $500 on it to make it sound better, more comfort with the risers, and for your feet more comfort. And if I was going to spend $1,000, I would add the switchback seat. You can add the Amazon one, I don't know what that's like, but as for the switchback one, I've ridden with that seat. It is a definite upgrade. The stock seat, it sucks. And that will bring you around 1,000 US dollars. So, well, under $1,000, you would have the ultimate, well, not ultimate, but you'd have a fairly comfortable setup to punch out some miles. Now, if you wanted to spend a bit more, like say 1,500 US dollars, Dynojet Fuel Moto Dynojet PV4, the Fuel Moto map. So if your budget was 1,500 bucks and you wanted to turn your Nighster S into something similar to mine or something similar to everyone else is doing, 1,500 bucks, you would get the risers, you would get the pegs, you would get the seat, you would get the slip-on, and you would get the tune. The tune makes a big difference. The bike's fine without it, but the tune is a must. If you've done all these other mods and you're wondering what to do with spare 500 bucks, US dollars that is, grab a PV4, and I believe Dynojet send you a mat for free if you buy the Dynojet from them. They have really good customer service, even here in Australia. They're replying to my emails in record time. Super handy, super helpful. So that's what I would do to my Nighster S. That's what I have done. But if I had 500 bucks, that's my budget. 1,000 bucks, that's what I would do for that budget. 1,500 bucks, that's what I'd do for that budget. Now you start getting the TBR, the full system, it's $1,200 US. Would I do that again? Yeah. It sounds good in aesthetics. For me, aesthetically, it's pleasing. I don't know if you can see the exhaust. If you can't, I'll have a look in the editing. I will record a bit of the stock exhaust. That's the stock exhaust setup, except I've taken the heat shield off to put it on the bike. And then if we come around, and for me, the DBR system it looks better. The way the lines are, getting caught up on other bikes. The way the lines sit, for me, it just looks better. This is the heat shield from the stock exhaust. It does make a difference. And what else makes a difference to that rear muffler, rear header pipe not getting as hot, is tuning it. Tuning it makes a big difference as well. The stock exhaust, it doesn't follow or have nice lines like the TBR. So if you just want some noise, you can get a slip-on. If you want some lines, looks cool, and some noise, the TBR 2-in-1 system, but again, it's expensive. It's $1,200 US. That equates to, actually, well, I'm looking down here. Yeah, I've got some, you can tell I'm not cleverer. I've got some cheat sheets. It's about Australian $2,000 for the TBR system, which is a lot of money, but it does sound nice and it does perform very well. A few little extras, you can add your frame sliders, your shock sliders. They are $85 from Bunking. I'll try and put a link down the bottom for Bunking. Bunking, surprisingly, had some good gear for the Nighter S, and shipping to Australia wasn't that difficult, wasn't that long. As for the switchback seat in Australia, that was just my local dealership. Allied Harley Davidson Bike Works. They ordered that in, and that was there waiting for me when I picked the bike up. The TBR system, they installed that for me before I picked the bike up, because let's face it, stock Harleys suck. Stock exhausts suck. So yeah, $500 budget, you will go with risers, pegs, slip-on. $500 US, risers, pegs, slip-on. That'll give you a bit of noise. It's a more comfort, aggressive riding style. If you've got a $1,000 budget, PV4. Match that PV4. It's a super easy download flash map to the bike. It's easy to do. The guys at Fuel Moto will sort you out. Now, if you want to spend another $1,200 US, TBR. So you would save, you could knock $300 off that if you didn't buy the slip-on, but if you bought the slip-on, then you bought the TBR, you'd be sort of out of pocket that way. But if you go straight to TBR, it's about $1,200 US. There is sales here and there. This is at the time I did some Googling on the interwebs. So there's sales, there's different brands. By now, there's obviously other companies doing things. So $500 budget, $1,000 budget, $1,500 budget. Another mod that you can do, and you can add it to either one of those packages because it's not that expensive. If I can find the price, I'll put in the editing. Nice CNC levers. The stock ones, I just don't like them. They were long, they didn't have, the ergonomics was off for me. Nice CNC levers, easy install. I do have a video on that as well. Easy install, they look good, they feel nice in the hand. I would definitely add that to the list, and you could probably sneak them in with the $500 budget as well. They weren't that expensive. A modification that you can do, and it's free, $0. Adjust your suspension to your weight. It's in the manual. Trust me, I rode it for the first 200 kilometers, 100 and whatever miles, with just not even thinking about the suspension. I'm like, this thing crashes around. This thing's horrible to ride. Read the manual, you know, yeah, because that's the last thing you want to do is read the manual. I read the manual and adjusted the suspension for my weight. Makes a massive difference, and it's free. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. All right, let's get out of here before